All right. Gigi, you stay there. You'll be just fine. Okay, I want to talk about the back stretches I've been seeing, and I want to show you some things that are probably causing your back issues. I suffered from back problems for years. In fact, one of the reasons I got into yoga and started doing this is because my mother was very much into that and was using that for her back issues. So I have been around every kind of back issue you can think of: slipped discs, herniated discs, etc. The kind of back stretches that I see a lot of yoga videos and even yoga teachers in some classes doing are these forward bends for back stretches, or on the back, again, in this forward folding type of motion. And that is a real backwards way of looking at things. One of the things principally with yoga is that you always want to counter. And so doing these forward bend stretches, or doing stretches on your back or doing child's pose, or any kind of forward folding stretches, whether you're on your back and your legs are coming in, that is repeating this perpetuating problem that you have, and it's not balancing the forward folding that we're doing all day long, driving, eating, this kind of motion. So I want to show you what I think you really should be doing and what has helped me tremendously. And that is understanding what your back is actually for, the purpose of your, anatomically understanding your body is going to make a huge difference. It's everything we talk about. It's everything I teach about, is that you have to understand the mechanics of what you're doing and not just do it to do it for the sake of doing it, right? We're not trying to do yoga because of acrobatics. We want to do it because we want to come into alignment, and we want to come into a sense of presence. We're re-energized. We want to feel more confident. And when you really get this, you're going to feel stronger within your own framework. And then the back can do what it's meant to do. The abdominal muscles can do what they're meant to do. You don't have to do another sit-up if you get this, because your abdominal chain will do what they're supposed to do, which is to hold you erect. Now you'll notice I'm sitting up tall, up on my sits bones, instead of rounding. And I'll see a lot of instructors teaching, touch your toes, reach for those toes, and they're stretching from the back, where this is already so overstretched. And that is what's causing all this pain. It's overstretched, it's overworked, it's strained. And what we have to do is really counter it. So first, let me just show you to stop doing these forward bends, forward folds, where you are overstretching all of this back. You want to be up on your sits bones. You want to be stretching. And if you're tight in the hamstring, we want to release that. We're not trying to forward fold all the time. At first, you're going to go through a shift on this. Now, as I say all this, if you have any kind of issues, make sure you're talking to your doctor, make sure you're getting help from a competent practitioner, and then just understand, this is for education and entertainment purposes, right? I really love when someone gets this aha moment. So I'm taking the time to make this video. What I would do if somebody was in chronic back pain after doing assessments and after going through and observing what's really going on, maybe find really the source of it, I would look at their lifestyle. I would assess everything. So if you're in the forward kyphosis, forward bend position, the majority of your day, you do not want to do that again. What you want to do is everything you can to counter that. So probably the cobra. And if you are able to, I would do this position where you're engaging your glutes and you're just on your forearms here. Your shoulders are relaxed and down, and your head is in this position. You don't have to push up. Hi baby. You go lay down. There you go, right on there. So you can be in this position where you are releasing, or actually restoring, that pliability of the spine. And then you're also strengthening the glute muscles. And then if you sew your belly button into your spine, and you practice with that, you're going to restore the powerhouse and the components of the powerhouse, as opposed to continuing to lengthen and basically overstretch your back, which is a lot of what I see as a result of our lifestyles. And you don't want to be going into a class or into a session or going and working out and doing more of that. The other thing you want to do is you want to release your muscles around that back that have gotten tight from not moving. That's going to be your butt, your glute muscles. So you've got 7 of those booty muscles that can be released through stretching. So I would do a stretch where you're on your back and you put your ankle on your knee, and then you can pull this in, but you're hinging from your hips. Notice I'm not rounding. I'm not rounding more of this. I'm doing a hinge from the natural hinge that needs to be restored and stretching that glute muscle. And the same thing when you do, if you're going to do a hamstring stretch, make sure you're doing it, or even a forward bend stretch, make sure you're doing it from your natural hinge, not from this rounding, which is overstretching you over and over and over again. And it just repeats the problem. And it defeats the purpose, really, of yoga, which is to balance and to bring you back into harmony, bring you back into balance, mind, body, spirit. So that's what I would suggest. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, well, I do my rounding stretch and I do this and I go into child's pose and it feels so good. And then I'm asking them what they're doing all day. And they're sitting at their desk 8 hours a day. Then they get in their car and they drive to and from work. Then they sit down on the Barker Lounge and watch a couple hours. And then they go to bed and they sleep. And that is the problem. That's the problem, is this perpetuated thing. The human body is really not meant to be in this position all the time, right? We need to be able to open it up and do movements where you can raise and we can do bridge. You know, you want to be able to do the bridge and counter this. So counter that forward motion. Just the basic bridge, it's so great done correctly, where you scoop in your belly and then you tilt through your hips. You're not overworking your back. There is a natural arch in your back, and then your abdominal muscles are keeping you in that position. And this is just a great movement. You can make this active. You can do this Pilates style with a nice mermaid leg. So many varieties that you can do that will not perpetuate that back issue, but instead actually strengthen the muscles around the back, and then they'll do their job to allow the back to do what it's meant to do. And it's actually meant to be very pliable. You want to be able to do this, but you also want to be able to do this. And I see most people are fused in this vertebra here, including myself. I don't have that nice ability. I've improved drastically by understanding this now and then practicing that ability to be more pliable. Again, that's what yoga is about. And that's what we do at Yogalachi, and that's what I wanted to teach you today. So I thought I would share that. If you want some more specific help, in a couple of weeks, specifically November 1st through the 21st, we're going to do a 21-day reset. And I'm going to go through optimal movement, mindset, and nutrition every day for 21 days live, taking a small group through that, all online. So you can be anywhere. If you're a viewer, then you don't need to come into the studio. It's going to be something where you can really reset not only your body, but your nutrition pieces. We're going to do a beautiful clean sweep out that pantry and get some delicious, nutritious recipes for the fall. It's going to help boost your immune system. It's going to help boost your resiliency so that you stay healthy. We're kind of moving into flu and cold season, but really that tends to be because we see diminished sunshine. People are not getting vitamin D. And then they go into the sugars because it's darker. And so, I want you to learn how to do very simple things. In fact, some of the things that we're going to learn to let go of will be so much more beneficial than the things you're going to learn to do. And then just having that connection and accountability on a daily basis over those 21 days with mindset, movement, and nutrition. I invite you to join us. So if you want to go to yogalachi.com/21 the number, I'll put it in the link as needed. And then of course, I'm always at this stage for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do live videos on a regular basis for these 2 weeks while I'm setting up for my next delivery mode. And I'm taking requests. So I had some great questions about the shoulders. I'll do more of that tomorrow. I've got a couple of fat bomb recipes I'm going to share. We'll go into the kitchen and do some fat bombs. I'll do the teas again. Teas that you can make super delicious, super easy for your whole family. Elderberry gummies, things like that are just, common in our household. I'm happy to share. All right, so post your comments below and just let me know if it's helped and if you have any other questions, and then I'll see you soon. Okay, have a great rest of your day.